Look, I'm going to be honest. I don't really like IPAs all that much.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like beer that much.
Emotional, damn it! Sorry, children.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Steven here, Northwest Small Batch Brewing. So, the reality is, of all the beer styles out there, honestly, IPA is not my favorite. It's probably my least favorite. But I can do like a hazy, New England IPA. I can handle that. They're so bitter. I don't know. It's just not my thing. I grew up during a time when New England IPAs didn't exist. It was the old style English IPAs and then West Coast IPAs, which are always super, super bitter. Anyway, I got a Juicy Bits here. I don't even know who makes this, to be honest with you. But it's got some good hops in it. Citra, Mosaic, El Dorado. It doesn't say it's a New England IPA, but it does say, it just says India Pale Ale. So, I don't know. But 7%, almost 7% alcohol. Yeesh. So, here we go. A little ASMR for you. That's a little melodramatic. Or not so melodramatic. Hey, so I decided to go and make a NEIPA because somebody asked me to make an IPA, and because I wanted to make one just to see, what everybody is going through making these things. They're kind of a pain. So that's what I'm doing. And, this may not be the most technical video since this is the first time I'm ever making this style, but we'll learn together, and we'll learn from our mistakes, won't we? So let's get started. I'm going to jump over and start milling the grain and go through the grain bill with you. Let's go. 67% two-row Great Western malting. 12.8% Viking Oat Malt. 9.4% Breeze Red Wheat, 2.3 Lovibond. And 4.8% Breeze Honey Malt, 25 Lovibond. After milling, I also added 5% flaked, or in this case, rolled oats, and 2 large handfuls of rice hulls. Okay, I set my strike water for 152 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I mashed in and got all the dough balls out, and I'm going to go ahead and do an overnight mash so it will sit here at 150 degrees Fahrenheit until I get up in the morning. All right, everybody, you know what time it is. Say it with me. Drain the main grain. All right, I brought the wort up to a boil, and now it's time for the first edition, which is actually a full 60-minute hop edition. This is going to be 0.64 ounces of Cascade hops, 5.4 alpha acid. Okay, I've got about 10 minutes left in the boil, so I'm going to toss in my yeast nutrients, half a Werflick tablet, and now I'm tossing in some Phantasm Thiol powder, which I believe is just basically ground up grape skin from some specific types of grapes. It only works with certain types of yeast, so I don't really expect to get anything out of this, but what the heck. Okay, we're at the 60-minute mark, so that means that flame out is flamed out. And it's time to add the final addition here at flame out, which is 1.11 ounces of Citra hops. Now I used cryo, and oops, it actually ended up being 24.9 alpha acid, basically double the normal hop you would use. So man, this is going to be a spicy IPA. Okay, I've let the wort cool down to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, and now I'm going to do something I've never done, a hop stand. So what I did is I took 0.64 ounces of cryo hop Mosaic and the same amount of cryo hop Simcoe, 21.4 alpha acid, 25.6 alpha acid, and I left them in there at 170 degrees for 20 minutes. And now we wrap it up for your protection for an overnight chill. Okay, it's the next day and the wort's chilled down to room temperature. Time to transfer it to your favorite fermenter. seal up your fermenter so it is airtight, and now you're going to shake the crap out of it for 1 to 2 minutes so you can get a lot of oxygen into your wort, which will help out your yeast for healthy growth. All right, it's time to pitch the yeast. You know I'm a big fan of dry yeast. I'm using Lallemand Verdant IPA yeast. All right, before we put this thing to bed and let it ferment for a month, it's time to set up the dry hop. I'm going to use the typical sous vide magnets and a little muslin bag. And I'm going to be putting in 0.95 ounces each of El Dorado, Mosaic, Simcoe, and Citra for my dry hops. I'm going to go ahead and drop the dry hops in now. It's been 3 days shy of a month. I'm going to let them sit there for 3 days so it hits the full month, and then it's time to keg it up. Okay, so I hooked up a jumper, and I'm just transferring the beer from the fermenter into a new fermenter, mostly oxygen-free, and there's enough pressure from the fermentation that I didn't really need to hook up an external CO2 tank to push the beer. So, give it another week to carbonate, and this sucker will be ready to drink.
1 week later.
All right, well, here we go. You saw the pour. The head retention is slowly slipping down, but it's not bad, my friends. It's not bad. It's definitely hazy, and oh man, it smells good. It smells good. All right, let's give it a try. Oh yeah, I was really worried there's gonna be a ton of hop burn on this, but bizarrely, it's kind of sweet. And I get a lot of pineapple and mango. Oh man, that's good. I'm telling you what. I may be a convict. No, wait a second. If this is homebrew IPA versus store-bought, like bottled IPA or hazies, that's a huge difference. This is so much smoother and more flavorful than any kind of store-bought like hazy IPA I've ever had. It's not bitter at all. I don't get any bitterness. I'll tell you what, hand to God, I love IPAs now as long as they are like this. Homebrewed, smooth, almost creamy, lots of tropical fruit flavor, not any bitterness. This is the way to go, man. This is good. This is so much different. Hey, so if you're like me and traditionally you don't like IPAs, don't let that keep you from making one at home and trying it, because if it's anything like this, it's a game changer. It's a totally different beer than anything you buy in the store. So I highly recommend you make it. Did I go over the final numbers? It was 1070 original gravity, finished at 1014, making it a 7.6% IPA. It tastes like a 3%. I'm telling you, this stuff is going to go down quick. Cheers, guys. I highly recommend you make it. This was definitely a winner. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in a week. Happy brewing, man. Happy freaking brewing.